Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, calling the Cray Valley Sunday net.
CQ, Golf 6 November Romeo Hotel. This is Golf 6 November Romeo Hotel, calling all Cray Valley Radio Society members, or even non-members, to quickly join me in the Cray Valley 2-metre Sunday morning net. I've already got you down there, Mark, and I was going to start, you jumped the gun a bit there. But anyway, I'll put you down in the log, you're first on the log. Anybody else would like to join us? This is Golf 6 November Romeo Hotel, standing by. Golf 6 November Romeo Hotel. Just check and see anybody else would like to join me and Mark for the Cray Valley 2-metre Sunday morning net. This is Golf 6 November Romeo Hotel. Standing by for any calls.
Golf 8 Juliet Whiskey X-ray.
Golf 8 Juliet. That's Golf 8 Juliet Whiskey X-ray. Good morning, Jim. Nice to hear you, mate. I'll put you down. You're second in on the log. So anyway, if anybody else wants to quickly join, this is Golf 6 November Romeo Hotel. Standing by. Nothing else heard. I suppose we might as well start the ball rolling. It's now back to the witching hour. I'll quickly pass it over to you, Mark. M0JCF Golf 6 November Romeo Hotel for the Cray Valley 2-metre Sunday morning net. Over to you, Mark.
Morning, Dave, and morning, sorry, don't know your name, JWX. We'll get that in a minute, and we've probably spoke to each other loads of times. Yeah, I'm okay, it's a new one for me today. In fact, this is my second net of the day. I was on the Darenth Valley net earlier this morning between 9 and 9:30. And the reason I was on it, I was actually testing a new purchase. And I'll probably have to go through this story again for other people. So very quickly, yesterday I bought an FT-736R. So late 80s, early 90s VHF, UHF transceiver, beautiful machine. Paid 200 quid for it. It comes with the additional modules of 6 meters and 23 centimeters. So that's a brand new thing for me. 6 meters isn't, but 23 sems is. And of course it comes standard with 2 meters and 70 sems, all mode, all singing, all dancing. And also as it appears to have the CT CSS board fitted as well. So I was going to reply about it earlier on repeaters, but I got held up with the Darenth Valley machine. Been doing plenty of DX this week on 10 and 12 meters CQing. Lots out of the east, lots out of the west, as you would imagine, and we've probably got a good 2.5 years of this left, hopefully. Then we'll all have to revert back to stinky 20 meters and all the rest of it. So I'm quite disparaging of 20 meters. Yeah, there it is. It's the band, the DX band for everyone, everywhere, all year, all seasons, all propagation seasons. So I shouldn't really dismiss it. I just don't like 20 meters. It's big beams, big power, and big money, you know. It sort of almost forgets what ham radio was meant to be about, says the bloke using a rig that back in the day apparently cost 1,400 quid without the additional modules. How times change, and also how the value doesn't stick with some radios. You know, a 757 GX, which I also use, you can still pick them up in good condition, 200 to 300 quid. you know. But this radio was probably back in the day twice as much as a 757 GX, but I only paid 200 quid for it. There you go. All right, round to you. G8JWX. This is M0JCF in the Cray Valley Sunday morning net. You might want to leave a gap just in case someone else wants to jump in. Over to you, sir.
Did you get that, Jim?
G8JWH. Yeah, the name here is Jim, India Mike. Yeah, still, if the old thing drops, we can always turn to CW. We're all now divorced there, I believe, so that gets a bit more distant. What to talk about this morning? Not much. Very rainy as usual. Still, the old weather's changing slightly, it's a bit warmer. So we can't complain about that. I won't hold it too long. I'll pass it back round to Dave there at G6NR8 JWX.
JWX, Golf 6, November, Romeo Hotel. Leaving a slight gap there, seeing that nobody wants to dive in. Yeah, all copied there, Jim. And yeah, good news there, Mark. God, yeah, 200 quid. I think it's definitely a good deal, mate. God, I thought you had enough radios by now. Nearly get. I don't know. I suppose who I'm thinking of is Richard. I think he's collecting 2-meter radios. So they're going out of fashion. I don't know why. I don't think he never comes off. Oh, bless him. Maybe he will do one day. What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, it was a nice net on Friday. I quite enjoyed it. There's a few of us on, and a few other stations that I hadn't heard before. We had Keith came on. He was a lovely signal. He was from Hainault, and it was, it was like blowing the windows out. He was a really strong signal, and he was only running at about 20 watts. I was running at about 10, but we could still work each other, which was quite good. It was a bit, first of all, it was a bit doubtful coming on for 4 meters, and I think he suddenly decided he might just start dipping his feet in the water, as it were. And we had a nice QSO, but it was all good fun. With that, I suppose I better see if anybody else wants to quickly join us. This is Golf 6, November, Romeo Hotel, in the Cray Valley 2-meter Sunday morning net. Does anybody else want to quickly join us? It's supposed to be it's for everybody. Just have a nice chat and we can just see how it goes. With that, I'll quickly see if anybody else wants to join us. It's G6 NRH Golf 6 November Romeo Hotel in Welling.
Hey, G8YTZ. Good morning, Dave.
Oh, G8YTZ. Do you want to have a quick over there, Justin? And thanks a lot for last week. You really helped me out. So, anyway, I'll leave it over to you, Justin. G8YTZ, over to you, mate.
Oh, G8YTZ. No, I enjoyed giving the talk as well, but you're obviously referring to the management of the net, which is not my best of skills, but nevertheless seemed to happen and work okay. Right, what have I been up to? It was my birthday today, so we're going to Chapter 1 for lunch. Dad's coming up, Julie's taking me out. Actually, what do you want for birthday? I've got everything, you know. But had a call from Dad, of course, this morning, and had a call from my daughter, who's in Cheltenham with her girlfriends, and showing me Sandy, the greyhound her friends got. Her parents are away, apparently, and they've gone to their parents' house in Cheltenham, so the girls having a good time. Parties, no doubt. We're a bit old for that now, actually. We're all now 30. What have I done? Yesterday was DATV Activity Day across Europe. So we did some QSOs on the telly. It was all for the low band. So I didn't do much transmitting, actually. Well, I did. I transmitted on 2 meters G4FKK Martin over in Carl Shorten. He transmitted on 4 meters and DBT, which was nice and strong as well. Did he? I can't remember now. There's so many we did. I didn't log them actually. I should have done. Then I did with Gareth XAT. We did 6 meters. Received on 6 meters DBT. Oh, we did DVS too as well on 4 meters, and on 2 meters, and yeah, we did everything really. 6, 4, and 2. We did all 3 bands between us, and it was apparently it was a colossal signal on 2 meters. Gareth had some technical issues, and I insisted on his aid. Poor man. And they were then, but there again, I could, but anyway, he sorted that out. That was good. Always good to get home-built gear to sort technical issues out. But no, it was great fun. 6 meter, 4 meter, and 2 meter. A combination of DBT and DBS2, but DBT is always better for lower bands because you get selective fading, and DBT is resilient to that, which is why it's used for terrestrial television. But in the higher bands, you tend to find, well, actually, DBS2 for the higher bands, it tends to be better. But interestingly, DBS, the older standard, has proved the best to do transatlantic on 28 megahertz, and which is quite incredible. And I've done 28 meg before with Gareth as proof of concept, and it works well. And but yeah, all on the 4 and the 2 meter what do you call it? Where they give you an extra thing on their license, NOV. That's it. So that's what that was. Right, back to you, Dave. I talked too long. That's what I've been doing. Maybe set a conversation off. G8CHP.
G8CHP. Oh, G8CHP. Do you want a quick over then, Kieran?
Right, G6NRH, G8CHP returning. I just switched on. I heard the end of Justin, and I thought I'd shout in, see how everybody's doing. I've got, I'd say, good morning to whoever's on there, but the only person I know who's on there is Justin. Right, it's excuse me, got a proverbial toad in throat, so it should be frog in throat or whatever. Well, looking out the window this morning, and it's not exactly full of the joys of spring, is it? It's a bit damp and dreary out there, and it's St. Patrick's Day, so it's going to dampen people's enthusiasm. So happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I'll be having a little celebration this afternoon, but unfortunately, I've reached an age now where drowning the shamrock is not going to be an activity I can get involved in. Right. Justin, you're 5 and 9, and thank you for your time on Thursday. And it was nice to be able to receive some TV pictures from Quebec Oscar 100. So that pathway is now opening up, and hopefully I can have some more fun doing some work there. I won't keep it long this over because I haven't got a clue who's on there. I don't know the running order or anything else. So I'll put it straight back to you. G6NRH from G8CHP.
Yeah, FTP. 6NRH returning. Now, I'll quickly tell you who we've got on at the moment. We've got Mark, M0JCF, and we've got Jim, G8JWX, and of course Justin, G8YTZ, and of course myself, G6NRH. So, so we're filling up slowly. With that, I'll quickly pass it over to Mark and let him have a go. And before I go, happy birthday, Justin. God, dear, I would like to ask what age you are, but I suppose you can't really do that. I suppose it's all a bit bashful. But anyway, with that, I'll quickly pass it over to you, Mark. Working cross that. Oh, fantastic. Anyway, over to you, Mark. M0JCF, Golf 6, November Romeo Hotel in the group.
Yeah, G0FDP jumped in. Go ahead, Frank.
Yep, okay there, Mark. I've jumped in. Go on, start the list as you're going, Dave. G6NRH.
Carry on with Mark, and I'll be down the bottom behind Kieran. Over to you, Mark.
Yeah, thanks for that, G0FDPM0JCF. Yeah, I heard you call in, but I think you doubled with Dave. But morning to Jim for a start. Yeah, Jim, I got your name now. And Justin, happy birthday. Kieran, happy Paddy's Day. Frank, happy actually managing to get on the radio without falling down the stairs day. Dave, G6RH, happy actually getting the list in the right order this time day. Jim, just happy that you're on here, Day. There you go. So, right, we got all that out of the way. And also, Justin, yeah, thanks a lot for the Meshtastic talk. As I say, being an ex-Unix administrator and networks man and all the rest of it, now that I'm retired, you know, it's not really a thing that I'm overly excited about. Because, you know, I'm sort of trying to steer away, really, from something that I've done for donkey's years. And it never overly interested me when I was in the profession. So, but I actually found it quite enlightening, quite an eye-opener, quite easy to implement. I didn't realise that, you know, within months you could have a network that runs like Cornwall to the Orkney Islands, no problems whatsoever. You know, it seems to me that, you know, you could have an awesome freebie network going, which, you know, because you can send text messages, etc. Yeah, it would practically put telecoms out of business, wouldn't it? Also, I think you also mentioned, between you and Dave, you also mentioned that they're trying to get the code so that voice transmission can be used across it. That would be interesting. I mean, I remember back in the early or mid 1980s when I worked for British Telecom International. I started when it was the GPO International Telephones, then it became British Telecom International, then it became BTI. And I was in Mondial House up in Upper Thames Street, London. I was working in the Thames A crossbar exchange. But anyway, one of the things that was going on in that building was video links. You know, they were experimenting with video links. And I remember going to Intarc I'm pretty sure it was called Intarc was the acronym. Can't remember now. I won't go into it. It's not important. But basically, they were experimenting with video over twisted pair coax, that sort of thing. And what they had was quite low resolution black and white images that was almost like Max Headroom to look at. Do you remember Max Headroom? All that jerky movement and stuttering and all of that. But I remember then thinking, how do you get so much video information over a twisted pair or even coax? You know, I know you know, we got TV, etc., but this was like over telephone lines, effectively. And there was, you know, the old duffers, rag bags, and tow rags back then going, "Oh, this is the thing of the future. You know, Star Trek is here. Soon you'll have an handheld device, and it will be high definition TV pictures, but you'll be talking to your girlfriend, blah blah blah." And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, that's a way off. But you know, we're there, aren't we? I mean, we're there. We're not only there, we're beyond it. So yeah, the Meshtastic thing was quite interesting. For those that have just joined that wants to know, I'm using a purchase I got yesterday, Yaesu Fox Tango 736 Romeo, a beautiful 4-band transceiver. It's fitted with all the modules, so it's 2 and 70, and then the modules fitted are 6 meters and 23 centimeters. So I've never used 23 cms before. I'll be quite interested in using it, and of course lends itself to I would say a higher definition TV, I would imagine. Of course we're now digital TV, which is a different beast as well. So there you go. Anyway, that was a bit of an over for me, with lots of rambling rabble somewhere in amongst it. So I'll hand it over to Jim now. G8JWX in the group with M0JCF.
G8JWX. Can I just let it pass for a second, because my cup of coffee just arrived and my cheese on toast. So I'm going to read that, then I'll come back in on. and JWX to whoever's tuned next.
JWX G6 Generate. Pass it over to you, Justin. No, yes, to Justin. G8YTZ. Over to you, mate.
Yeah, JYTZ. Yeah, Mark. Well, yes. So the secrets, orthogonal modulation techniques, and obviously the software that goes with it. That's the clever thing, and high processing capability to crunch numbers for the compression. That's where it's all come from. And I'm getting like you in the telecoms. I started off in RF, but I moved into networks and the like, and I consider myself to be okay on Linux. I can work out how to do most things, although I'm not an expert. I'm not like these born and bred coders, which have everything in their head. I have to look it up, but I get on okay. But I suspect the voice will be pushed to talk. That's what it'll be, and there's no reason why it shouldn't happen. But what the delays will be, I don't know. Meshtastic, as you say, is quite interesting. It's and there's a lot of hams on there. Unless the number of nodes popping up with amateur radio call signs is quite interesting. Obviously, they're just using it for ident to who they are. For those who know will know, if you know what I mean. But I think it's good because people who aren't in the amateur radio fraternity will go, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I should get myself a license. And in terms of amateur TV, well, we had some fantastic DX a few weeks ago into the repeater from the North York Moors on 23.7, a solid signal. It was lighting up GB3JV and also GB3SQ down at Bournemouth. At the same time, being received by another ham in Oxford, and I sent some stuff back to North York Moors mic up there, and M0DTS, and he received me with an MER of 16, some modulation error ratio of 16 dB. Crudely, that's about what the margin was on the signal. So, if for the forward error correction we were using, so the margin was 0 dB signal to noise ratio, and anything over that would give you a locked picture, stable picture, and of course 16 is plenty of fade margin, as I'm sure you know from your telecoms. So yeah, solid signals for hours on end. Equally we use the similar standards on all the bands, and the pictures. I might upload them. I think I took some screenshots actually. I might have taken some video as well. I'll see if I can find it, and I'm actually not sure where my software actually puts under videos. I have to look and see if I can work out where it's put my put the video. That's always the challenge, isn't it, with these things? It might be in. I've got some stuff in screenshots as well from yesterday. Yeah, here we are. There's some screenshots I've got as well. Yeah, and there's that's from Carl Shulman. That was 4 meters. That one, if I remember right. And that's a 2 meter one. That's 4 meter. Yeah, 4 meters and 2 meters. So I've got I'll post those up just to show people. I should have some video as well. Some screenshots. Where's the video? Oh dear. It's been downloads. Anyway, I'll find it and post it up, and then see what people can see, etc. Right, that's me. Over to you, Kieran. G8CHB, G8YTZ.
G8YTZ, G8CHB in the group. Yes, and now that I know who's on, I'd like to say good morning, Mark, and good morning, Jim. And good morning to you, Frank. I heard you calling in just as I finished off. Yeah, good to hear you on as well. And I've already said good morning to you, Justin. Everybody so far sort of a 5 and 9 plus, no problem hearing anybody. It's sort of really armchair copy, sit down here, make it nice and easy. Right, and I'm happy to say that for the first time, probably in at least 6 months, I have a fairly tidy shack. I can see the colour of the wood on the desk, which is something that was difficult to do before with all the bits of paper on it, etc., etc. It's cleared fairly tidy. I've spent some time reorganising things as I tidied up after Thursday, so I'm feeling quite smug sitting here in what is just beginning to look like a proper radio shack. It won't last long. Right. Yesterday, the foundation course, that was fun. That was quite interesting. It's a heavy day for them. There's 12 candidates, so it was quite full, and it's all go for them from morning until sort of after 5, half 5 at least last night. I was involved in the 3 sessions of CW appreciation, and that was very enjoyable. I think it was a light moment for the people on the course after all the heavy stuff they had to sort of ingest, as it were. So yeah, we had 3 groups coming in at different times during the day. So I thought that was very enjoyable. I enjoyed it anyhow, so it was a bit of fun when people were having a go on a straight key. And I tell you, a straight key is not at all easy. I mean, I've just got myself vaguely used to the paddle, and that takes care of the length of the D's and the Da's for you, so it's much easier to unscramble what's being sent on a paddle, but trying to unscramble what's being sent on a straight key where everybody has their individual style is that was much more difficult. Yeah, but anyhow, that was good fun yesterday. What else? Oh yes, but you're talking, Justin, about the Metastic and that project, and indeed it does sound very interesting, and one of these days I will get involved, but at present there are just too many projects on. That's the problem with this hobby or the challenge, I don't know which you'd call it. A, I'm trying to improve my Morse. B, I've got an old transceiver kit that's half built. C, the club project transceiver is coming on its way soon. So getting all of these things under my belt and keeping them going, as well as trying to move forward with some satellite work to get some TV done on that. I've enough there to keep me busy for the next year or so. So I can't see myself getting involved in the Metastic at any time soon. And the last thing I wanted to mention, I see from Radcom now that the new license is up and running, and I got my email from Radcom about 10 days ago, telling me of the changes that I had requested. I can't remember actually requesting them, but it was just telling me the changes to the license. But I like the word, the phrasing of the email that I had requested. So I got the changes in, and sort of obviously, ostensibly, the major changes that I can now put an identifier letter in the middle of my call sign. If I want to do it, I could put an E in there, but I'm at this stage, I don't think it's worth the trouble. I'd have to relearn the phonetics and have to relearn how to send it in CW and all of that business. So things are going to stay the same for me for the time being, anyhow. And I'm not I haven't got any immediate plans to suddenly jump to 1 kilowatt transmitter or anything else like that. So really, as an individual, I don't think it makes a lot of difference to me. But it's all in now. I understand not everybody's got it yet. I think they're sending them out in alphabetical order. That may or may not be the case. I don't know. But that's what I was speaking to one or two of the lads yesterday, and some people had got it and some hadn't. Right. That's enough rambling from me, and I'll pass it over to you, Frank. Good morning, Frank. Over to you. G0FTP from a G8CHV.
Yes, G8CHV from G0FTP without an E in it, just a ordinary, just a G0, nothing else. I don't think I'm messing about with that. As you say there, Kieran, sticking an E in it, all you've got to do is put a dit in your call sign for an E. But there we are. Anyway, what I was going to say, good morning to everybody. It's on the list this morning, all 5 and 9 plus to me, no problem at all. What I was going to say is, right, this is for Dave, 6NRH. I won't forget your little booklet this time. I'll bring it with me on Thursday. And also, Laurie, G4FAA, wants his antenna back, so I shall bring that as well with me on Thursday. Perhaps Kieran will get it in his car, I suppose. I don't know. I should imagine he can do, but we'll see anyway. And I'll bring that on Thursday. So if you're picking up Laurie on Thursday, you can take it back to him when you take him home. And that'll be that out of the way as well. I've just got it out of the shed. It's sitting in the shack here at the moment with me now. And what else was I going to say? Right. Well, Mark was on about a FT, it's a Foxtrot Tango 736R rig. I don't know if I think mine was a 7762. Was it? Mine was a 726R. I think mine was the early one. The 736 one had a little bit more power on it, but the 726 was a little bit less power. And mine had one module in it, and that was just for 2 meters. But you can have it in there for whatever you particularly fancy. There's 3 compartments for the modules to go in if you wanted to change it round to something different. So that's the one I had, but I've sold that one now. He's got the power supplies already in the rig, so that makes it a bit on the heavy side. But I sold that one. I gave it to the guy and he sold it for me, so that's quite a few years back now. And it did take up a little bit of room. I haven't got enough room at the moment to have one of those in here. Even the Icon 716 takes up a bit of space with all my two 7062 Mark IIGs and all the other bits and pieces that go with it, and the 2 power supplies. So that'll be not for me at the moment there. And it's a lovely rig, I must admit. It's a nice rig. The 726, I think mine's a 726, which is only 10 watts. I'm not just quite sure. But then they brought the 36 out, which is a little bit more power, like 20 I think it was. No doubt Mark will tell me. Right, there's something else I was going to say. Oh yes, I know what I was going to say. Well, at the moment now, I've got myself a little set of wheels, a little set of wheels, which is a mobile scooter. For not one with 2 wheels, but 4 wheels. Like you've probably given your dad, Justin. I can't think of the proper name for it now, but I've got a 4-wheel scooter now, and it's sitting in the garage, and that near a plug, so I can charge it up if I need to charge it up, and go where I want if I want to, more or less within a safe distance. Not too far, because I don't know how long the battery will last, but at least I've got that now. And my old ar, the 20,001 car has now gone. I've sold it. It didn't cost me, they give me £300 for it, which for a car which is 23 years old, I suppose it's not bad really, is it? Really. It's been garage mostly all the time I've had it, so it's in good condition body-wise, apart from some burp that bumped into the front offside wing and bent that for me, so I straightened it out a bit, but that's the only problem with it at the moment. It's not taxed, because I've stopped taxing it as from the end of February, but it's still MOT'd until August. Well, there we are. We've got rid of it. We've taken it. My son's taken it down to the Will Buy Any Car, and that's where it's gone now, and it's set down by the Yorkshire Grey, not the Yorkshire Grey, the what's that roundabout down there, where they have their cars sitting in the car park, ready to either pick them up, take them back to to be either auctioned or whatever, or crushed or whatever the problem may be. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that. But anyway, I've got my money. It don't take long. £200 and odd for that, and another couple of £100 for the insurance, which is for July, no, not July, April, May, June, July and August, which I have not actually used it, so I've got that back as well. That's halfway towards paying for my little four wheels mobile scooter. It's not called a scooter, really, I suppose, isn't it? I can't think of the first name now. My brain's gone silly. Right, okie doke. I think I'm last on the list at the moment. So anyway, Dave, I hope to bring your book for you on Thursday if I don't forget it. I know my brain's not so good, but I shall put it somewhere else and make sure I pick it up. And also the 4-metre antenna, which Laurie wants back. So I'll bring that with me, and you can give it to Laurie when you pick him up on Thursday for the club meeting. And I'm very glad to hear that all the 12 candidates on the foundation course probably had a hard day. Yes, it's a long day, the first day, from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening, with a few breaks here and there, lunch breaks, coffee breaks and all that sort of thing. So at least they've all sort of had the first day over with. Now they've got the next one, which is next Saturday. It's a bit more easier for them, I believe, and because then they've got the exam after. And I believe, Kieran, you're one of the invigilators of the exam. And obviously, Richard's wife there, I've got the bloody name now. Oh my goodness me. Anyway, I was hoping to get down there, but I don't think my little scooter thing will go down. I'll go down there, but I can't drive up that bloody pathway towards the scout hall. There's too many holes and too many bumps. I don't want to be tipping over on anything. So normally that's why I rely on Kieran to take me down there, which he'll do on Thursday. But don't know about Saturday. We'll have to wait and see. I'll have to see what happens on Saturday, whether I ask him to pick me up, because it's going to be an all-day thing, because you've got to be there all day, Kieran, isn't it? Because you're one of the invigilators, I see on the sheet. Anyway, okie doke, right, I think I've had a little bit of a chat or waffle there, and perhaps Mark will tell me whether it's the 736 he's got, or it may be the 726 I had, which I think there's two differences between the 36 and the 26. One is only 10 watts maximum, the other one is 20 watts, I believe. I'm not certain about it, because it's a little while since I had it, and it's gone, and I can't remember now. Anyway, over to you, Dave, G6NRH from G0FDP.
G0, Foxtrot Delta Park, Golf 6, November, Romeo Hotel, returning in the Cray Valley. 2 metres, Sunday morning. Yeah, all copied there, Frank. Yeah, I think the radio that Mark's got is the FT-736R, which is about 25 watts output on 2 metres and also 70 cents, and about 10 watts on 6 and 23 centimetres. So yeah, so it's quite a nice little radio. I've just got a picture of it. I've got these antique vintage rig guides, and it's full of information, so it tells you exactly what it is. And they look for what they are, fantastic. Yeah, and I think you've got a really good deal on that, Mark. Because, God, yeah, I wouldn't mind one of those, actually, because they're really nice little radios. Yeah, when I was down on Friday, I popped down on Friday to see Trevor, and also Colin turned up, because he was going to do his, Ohm's Law experiment, where he's got his little board out and he was showing how to do it. And I just wonder how they all got on, because he was a bit worried that until he set it all up, it's going to be a bit tight to get all 12 people round while he's trying to demonstrate Ohm's Law with his little rig that he's got set up. And that's called G2STJ. Nice to see him, actually. Yeah, it was nice to have a nice little chat. And he said he's looking forward to it and see how it goes. And he said, thank goodness. Well, I know we're supposed to have 13 members, but one must have dropped out. I think he's coming back later. I think that's Dad's son, because he's doing something at university, so he can't make it until the following week. But yeah, all copied there. And yeah, I shall pick the antenna up from you, mate, if you can drop it off from the club, because I shall be there Thursday. And thanks a lot for remembering to bring the book down, which was really nice, for the 4-metre antenna. Yeah, I think I know that Justin, when you were doing your crossband network, I've never worked on 23, and let's see all the bands you did work. It sounds really good. Mind you, I don't think I've actually worked. I don't think I've done 6 metres, to be perfectly honest. I've got a 6-metre antenna, which I've still got in the living room. Well, it's not in the living room, it's in one of the bedrooms. Until I get round to actually fitting it, but I don't go on 50. I've never really bothered. But it all, I really should do.
Is that my turn?
I think it's over to me, but he sort of cut off abruptly, so I'm wondering if he's broke.
No, I'm still here. Can you hear me? Over?
Yeah, we can hear you now, but you just literally bang, no transmission.
Ooh, wonder that. Maybe it's me not holding on to the fist mic. It might have slipped off my pinkies. Never mind. I've been rambling on long enough, mate. I'll quickly pass it over to you. I mean, destiny telling me that's what I've got to do. I'll pass it over to you. M0JCF, Gold 6, November Romeo Hotel in the group.
Yeah, G6NOHM0JCF. To answer the question, yeah, it's the 736 Romeo. It comes as standard fitted 2 metre 70 sems, and then the additional bays, it's been fitted with 6 metres and 23 centimetres. 25 watts, 2 metres. I'm not sure about 70 sems, but I thought it was 10 watts, the other bands. It's got various controls on it I've never seen before, which obviously makes sense. Like it's got a satellite switch, so I suppose for working crossband, etc., it makes things easy. I've got that switched off at the moment. The additional CT CSS board appears to be fitted as well, so I can bring up the CT CSS frequencies on the display, and I can get it to encode on transmit, and I can get it to encode, decode, transmit, receive. So far, though, I was trying Steve Porter's, can't remember his call sign, G4 Miserable Old Man or something like that. I don't know what he calls himself. But anyway, he's quite local to me with MB7 ISP on 144-900. And I was trying to access that, and I couldn't. So either I'm doing something wrong or the CT CSS isn't working. It's something that what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a couple of 2 metre band repeaters to start with, and just to see what happens. But for 200 quid, it has been quoted by a few people now. You can pay up to 200 quid just for the 23 centimetre module alone. Now, I don't know if that's true. I haven't looked into the pricing of it. I know new, and it's been told to me by several people, they were 1,400 quid new without additional modules, etc. That would have been 1988 onwards, and I think they were discontinued about mid-90s. I mean, if you was back then just a G8 or whatever the B license was, it was a lot of radio for someone who wasn't getting into HF. It doesn't do AM. It does every other mode. So it does LSB, USB. It does CW, FM narrow, FM wide, blah, blah, blah. It does all of that, but it doesn't do AM. I think, around about this time, they was envisaging that AM would be dead and buried, and no one would be interested ever again. But AM seems to have had a massive resurgence, which is quite nice. I've used AM. I've worked the USA AM on 10 metres. And FM, but you know, AM is a lot of fun, I think, because it really takes you back to old school. You know, you get the feeling of what it was like back in, you know, the pre-1970s when SSB was sort of fledgling, and most people were either doing CW or AM. So you know that's really quite nice. And of course, AM transmitters, I've half built several so far. One of them was for top band. You know, they are so easy to build. You know, it's compared to say SSB, etc. I know CW transmitter is even easier still. Just an oscillator and just key it. But one other question. I was on earlier this morning. I was on the Darenth Valley net 9 till 9:30, and one of the people on the net, right, let me just pull him up. It was John, Golf 4 Delta Oscar Echo. He was asking, was G3 KPZ, so Golf 3 Kilo Papa Zulu, he was asking if he was still around, and if he is, could he contact John G4 DOE? I said that the familiarity of the call sign, I might have been mixing him up with Steve G3 ZPS. So G3 KPZ doesn't ring an immediate bell. Some of you may know him, and if you do, if you could just ask him to contact John G4 DOE, that was the message that was passed to me to pass on. So that's that. And I think that's all I've got at the moment. There was a few other things people said, but I can't remember. No, there was a few other things people have said. No, 6 meters. Do you know, I've operated 6 meters the last couple of years, but mainly sporadic E6 meters. So all of my contacts on 6 meters have been European contacts via sporadic E when we've had an opening. So Dave, if you've got an antenna, now my antenna is a copper pipe dipole hanging in the loft, pointing obviously in just 2 directions. I can't rotate it or anything. And I've worked with it. It's facing southeast, northeast, so radiating southeast, northeast. And I've worked quite a few European stations during sporadic E. So if you want to have a go, just get your antenna up. If you can get it up indoors, of course. Just get it up during sporadic E season, and maybe, you know, you log a few Europeans. I don't know, you know, if you're that bothered, but, you know, if you've got the capability and you've got the time, might be worth it, because sort of April onwards, we're coming into a bit of sporadic E. Of course, the DX is there. I haven't worked any DX with it on 6 meters. Having said that, I haven't really tried. I was using, I think, a TS590S, and was the first time, and then my IC7300 I've worked 6 meters. So yeah, that was the other comment I wanted to make. So around to you, Jim, if you've finished your breakfast. In fact, at the beginning of this net, I was eating mine. I was having bagels with peanut butter on it. There you go, nice and healthy and nutritious. So around to you, Jim. G8JWXM0JCF in the Cray Valley group.
M0JCF and G8JWX. Well, changing all these call signs is a bit much. I have the view that if it's working, don't change the bloody thing. Otherwise, you all got to start learning new things. You've all got to start remembering who was what, which is a bit ridiculous, seeing the old way was working perfectly well. I've enough trouble with my bloody memory there anyway. Never mind remembering to change it and stick D's and God knows what else in the centre. Still, we will get on with it anyway. I believe we've got visitors on this Thursday, haven't we? So I better put my nice jacket on with my call sign on it, make it look good up there. And then hopefully there'll be quite a few members up there. And that, I believe I pass it on to Justin from here. GAYTZGHJWX.
Yeah, G8JWX, G8YTZ, thank you, Mark. Sorry, James, I do beg your pardon. Muddled up with the order there. Yeah, I'm just reading in the Sunday Telegraph here online, and about the golden chippy in Greenwich, putting up a new mural featuring a Union flag, Great British Meal on the corner of the shop, and the council ordering to take it down. So it's hit the Sunday Telegraph now, and lots of comments telling the council where to go. So next time anyone sees anyone from Greenwich, you can have a go as well, and see where this leads. I don't think it'll end well. I have a view of councils, actually, including our own, and that's simple. They should hone their skills in collecting dustbins and filling potholes and keep their nose out of other business that doesn't concern them. Anyway, there we go. I can remember my mum was looking at a job at a council, and she said, I'm not having any son of mine work for a council, for a local council, and I see why she said that. Oh my goodness, I couldn't stick working in a place like this, like that. You know, I really couldn't. Oh, there we go. There we go. Right, yeah, how old am I today? I'll give you a clue. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, that's all you need to know. Anyway, send it back round again. Kieran, it's your turn. G8, what did you say?
J6,
Right, G8, or YT said, G8 CHV returning with a little gap there if anybody else wanted to come in. Yes, well, Justin, may I say happy birthday to you, and many happy returns, okay? Enjoy yourself today. Right, I haven't a lot left to say to you. Frank, on that scooter, yeah, you be careful. The last thing you need to do is to start going over potholes and tipping over. I've heard of that happening to a few people, yeah. And it's not as if they crawl along. I think I've seen one or two of them sort of, I don't know if they're supercharged or not. I've seen one or two scoot along at a fair old lick. You need to stand well out of the way. So yeah, so be careful. And as for Saturday coming up, indeed I'll be around there for most of the day, and you just tell me when you want to pick up, and I can easily sort that, because I haven't got any great commitments at the course in the morning. I'm vigilating in the afternoon, so I'll be sort of knocking around a bit, and I'll be in and out. So it'll be quite easy to manage that on Saturday, and of course Thursday. Take that for granted. And we will have to sort of, I will have to sort of tidy up, look a bit respectable, and polish my shoes before the presidential visit. Yes, that should be quite interesting. Yeah, quite an event for the club, which is nice. Yeah. Right. Apart from that, I think I've run out of things to say. So with it, I'll pass it over to you, Frank. So. G0FDP, G8CHB in the group.
J6,
Yep, okay there, Kieran. There's another station there called in. I didn't quite catch the call sign, but I think he has been on before. He lives, I think his QTH is round about the Surbiton area, if I remember rightly. I'll just have a few minutes talk, and then Dave, G6NOA, can pass it over to this station. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure if it's a G8 or a G6, not quite sure at the moment. But anyway, my scooter only does 4 to 5 miles an hour, Kieran, so you won't get run over by me zooming down the road, and it's only pavement only. I'm not allowed on the road with it, so I shan't find any potholes, hopefully. So I won't tip it over. I mustn't tip it over anyway. That's one good thing about it. And I've only been on it once so far. I was going to go out this morning, but no, it's not the best of weather at the moment. It's a bit wet and raining at the moment, isn't it? So I shan't be going out this morning on it now. I've got my son coming around sometime today, and he's taken me to my granddaughter's after they've actually had a party down in a party down in Swanley for my grandson, who is now 6 years old. He was 5, he's now 6. Then I'll grow up quick, don't they? Oh dear. And as for your birthday, Justin, happy birthday, whatever many years you are. I can't remember the actual saying now after what you said, but don't get up to my age at 85 in August. Oh my goodness, things don't go right for you when you get old, unfortunately. Anyway, I'll pass it over to you, Dave, and you can bring in this other station. I think it's G6 something, and it is in Surbiton, I think, if I remember. He has been on before. Over to you, Dave, G6NRH.
E0 Foxtrot Delta Park, Golf 6 November, Romeo Hotel. Can the other station, do you want to quickly come in, please, mate?
G6 DTW.
G6, GCW?
Delta Tango Whiskey.
G6 Delta Tango Whiskey, Golf 6 November, Romeo Hotel. Could I have your name, please?
Patrick, Papa Alpha Tango, Romeo Italy Charlie Kilo, and yes, I can spell my own name. Over.
G6 DTW, Golf 6 November, Romeo Hotel. Good afternoon, or good morning, Patrick. I'm all fingers and thumbs this morning, but nice to hear you, mate. And you're coming over 5 and 9 from Welling. Lovely to hear you. We have worked before, but because I use a paper log, it takes me ages to try and find out people's call signs and when I worked them before. But lovely signal. I'll quickly pass it back to you so you can have a quick over. G6 DTW, Golf 6 November, Romeo Hotel, in the group.
Thank you very much. G6 Delta Tango Whiskey. Hello, Justin here. Also my birthday today. Justin, everyone is 5 and 2 with me. Everyone is 5 by 2 with me. I'm near Epsom, Surrey, near Echo Papa, Sierra Oscar Mike in Surrey. Many happy reruns, Justin, from G6 DTW 7-3. And yes, I'm 7-3.
G6 at DTW, Golf 6 November, Romeo Hotel. Lovely, Patrick. As I say, lovely signal all the way from Epsom. I think it's fantastic. As I say, I'm in Welling, running at about 13 watts. So, and I'm using the Anytone 778 UV, little sort of like mobile rig, which I use for a base station. I also got the 857D, which I normally use. I got this one just as a standby. And since I've been using it for a couple of weeks now, it seems a lovely radio, and it's got apparently quite a good tone. So I think it's not too bad. I had complaints about the other radio that it sounded a bit weird because I've got a heritage microphone, which is part of the Hell sounds. Poor old Mr. Hell, old Bob. Yeah, I know he passed away a couple of last week or maybe a couple of weeks ago. Oh dear. Anyway, with that, I won't hold it, and the time is now getting on to 5:02. I'll quickly pass it over to you, Mark, and see if you can work Patrick as well. M0 JCF Golf 6 November Romeo Hotel in the group.
Yeah, M0 JCF returning. Very good morning to you, Patrick. And I don't know if you received my email. I sent it us over a week ago now, I think. Thank you very much for that microphone. Yeah, that will come in very, very useful indeed. Exactly the sort of thing I was looking for. In fact, it was more than I was looking for. A little fist mic would have done. So I'm very pleased with that. Hopefully those valves reached you okay and they tested out okay. As I say, they both come out of an FT-101ZD, and they've just been sitting there in the cupboard. So if there's any problems and you've got any issues with them, let me know. And I did say this in the email, let me know, and I'll bung another one in the post to you. But as I say, they should both be good as second-hand valves for your TS520. So that's that over with, and I think that's just about it. I'm glad that the foundation course is going well. I did meant to mention that some time ago. I've seen all the photographs on the WhatsApp, and it looked like yeah, the Ohm's law demonstration seemed to be going very well. So hopefully it didn't complicate the issue, because Ohm's law really is in its basic form V over IR. You know, as foundationers don't really need to know much more than that. It is really basic arithmetic, isn't it? So, you know, there's nothing overly complicated, although I do understand that, you know, a visual representation of what's happening is also good. But really, I suppose that's the other thing as well, isn't it? When was the last time I did basic arithmetic sort of like that, apart from the odd calculation? Was probably last time I was at school, which was obviously in the 1970s. So yeah, it was nice to actually see it, and I didn't realise they were still doing the Morse code appreciation. I had to do it when I got my M6. We had to do it. Luckily, when I first failed the RAE in 1978, I was already learning Morse back then. I think I was up to about 4 words a minute or something, because I was really interested in getting straight into HF. But you know, the history shows different how that all turned out. So yeah, and I see Cray Valley's really pushing for CW. It's not really for me. I'll do CW when I can be bothered to do CW. You know, I support the club and everything, but yeah, I won't be getting involved in the group buys this time around. I have done in the past. You know, I've built a couple of micro or true micro SDXs. I built 2 of those. One of them actually I sold back to Dav, because I only needed one, and everyone knows I built that one into a tobacco tin and showed it at the construction thing. In fact, I won a certificate for that, didn't I? Never did pick up the certificate, but then I'm not a one for collecting certificates, to be very honest with you. I don't collect certificates, QSL cards or awards anymore. You know, I just like to get on and play. Right, well, I'm going to make this my final then, because it is 11 o'clock. I'm going to wish everyone very best 73, happy DXing and all of that. As I say, Patrick, once again, thank you very much. As I did send an email, but I know our emails have had quite big gaps between them, so hopefully you're well and everything's good. You're about 5 and 7 to me, but there's a lot of aircraft flutter on your signal, as you would expect. And because you were quite late in, just to let you know, I'm using an FT-736R with a Handmaster 4200 microphone, to 25 watts into a collinear antenna. But yeah, you're a nice signal to me. I'm going to make this my final. I will be switching off because, as I say, I was on the Darenth Valley net earlier, and I think my good lady wife would like to see me sometime this Sunday morning, as wet and damp and horrible as it is. So all the very best to everyone. 73, take care, have a great Sunday, and over to you, Jim. G8JWXM0JCF in the group.
G8JWX, yeah. Yeah, I'm picking you up as well, Patrick, down at the bottom of Eltham there. You're giving me 5 and 9 with a little bit of noise in the background, but mind you, the distance, you expect it. Can't think of much more to say, really, apart from, if we all get one of these little scooters, we can stick 2-metre rigs on them and bob up down the high street. I know they go 4 miles an hour, the ones for the pavement. The ones for the road as well do 8, so they're quite nifty. 4 miles an hour hitting somebody's ankles and make a mess. So you still have to be careful. I'll say 73 to everybody, and I'll pass it on to Justin there. G8JWX and G8YTZ.
Are you there, Justin? Or you disappeared?
Yeah, sorry, I was distracted then. Yeah, I'm here. I'm going to call it a day, actually. I think it's 11 o'clock anyway. I think that's probably people are signing off now. So nice speaking with everyone. I'm going to just tidy up the dining table slightly, because I've got some of my stuff. I've been working on that Philips 3302. and restoring that. And I just got one last problem. Actually, it's quick shout out. Has anybody got an AC127, AC128 matched pair of germanium transistors? They don't want. I'll buy them off you if you've got a pair. GY said.
I haven't got a matched pair, but I may have AC128s, Justin.
Oh, I'll take you up on that. Yeah, it probably don't need to be a matched pair, actually. They're in like a Darlington configuration. It's a motor control board, and it might just be the variable resistor, which I need to get myself a skeleton preset for it. But it's I think one of those transistors on the board's gone. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, I've got a box of germanium transistors. They hold dear to my heart. I love germanium transistors when I first started constructing in the early 70s. So let me sort through them. There's no guarantees, but if I have got them, there'll be AC128s or equivalent, and I'll bring them along to the club. Sorry to everyone. I did say goodbye, but just needed to let him know. Cheers.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. Thank you so much. The fault seems to be on these that they go short to case, so the case becomes connected to one of the terminals. But anyway, brilliant. Thanks anyway.
Justin?
Yes, Patrick.
I may have a 127 and a 128. They won't be a match pair, though.
Oh, that's the 127 will be brilliant. I'll bung you for them. I don't expect them for free.
Okay, many happy reruns, Justin. My birthday also. Now I've got the mic. M0JTF. I've lost all your details. I received the valve. Thank you. And I'm glad you and I didn't get your email. Thank you for the valves, and I've lost your name as well. I've lost your call sign as well, but I can look it up now. All the best. You have to finish short of it, Justin. G8TZ, G16.
Yeah, G8Y said, sorry Patrick, you're really bad today. There's a bit of a QRM on the channel, so I didn't get much of that. But no, thank you for the offer, the 127, yeah, and what have you. Okay, cool. Right, I'm going to sign off now. I've got to get myself shaved. Dad's arriving soon, and we're off for dinner. So I'll get myself, spruced up to go out and put my best frock on or whatever. All the best. G8YC, everyone.
Yeah, YTZ, G6NRH. You have a nice time, mate, and yeah. So, I know what your age is, mate. Good luck to you. Anyway, quickly over to you, Kieran, for a final. G8 CHB Golf 6 November Romeo Hotel.
G6NRH, G8 CHB returning. Yes, a big thank you, Dave, to you for running the net, and nice to hear your dulcet tones on there. 73s to everybody. I hope everybody has a nice day today. Patrick G6DTW. Happy birthday to you as well. I only caught patches of your transmission because my station is down in the pit of Mottingham, and my reception isn't always very good. So you're mostly down in the noise from me, but you came up every so often, which was nice. So have a good day, you too. So all the best, everybody, and I'll now go clear. So G8 to CHB, passing over to you, Frank, G0FTP, and now clear.
Yep, okay, Kieran, G8CHB from G0FTP, yep. I'll, as you said, Thursday will be the usual time, about 5 to 7 for me, and I'll wait for you and see you then. As for the Saturday, I'll talk to you on Thursday about that. I know you're an invigilator, which in the afternoon means that you and the other invigilators and the candidates all got to go for a walk, so that means that I won't be able to go in there. You'll be in the actual hall itself, so I won't be able to go there then. It'll probably more likely be sort of about 10 o'clock, 12, 10 o'clock till lunchtime, something like that, if possible with you, Kieran. Back to you.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Talk about it on Thursday, Frank. Okay, cheers. Back to you.
Okay, Kieran, cheers and thanks very much. And I'll pass it round to Dave, G6NRH, and I hopefully won't forget to bring your little booklet with me this time. And you can have a little browse through that. Okay, 73, and over to you, Dave, G6NRH.
G0 Foxtrot Delta Park, Golf 6 November, Romeo Hotel. Well, I'll quickly pass it over to Patrick to tie the ribbons because he was the last on the net. Over to you, Patrick. G6 DTW Golf 6 November, Romeo Hotel.
Thank you very much. Mark, M0JCF, are you still on frequency?
Yeah, I am. A quick one for Justin. Justin, I've got one new old stock, never been used, AC128. You can have that, and let's just say you owe me because this is untested. I'm sure it's okay. It may have a whisker. So, Justin, I'll pass this to you. I've just double checked. I can't find any 127s, and in fact, I can't find any more 128s right at this time. But not to say none may turn up. I also have some brand new, still in the packet, pairs of AC, I think they're 176. Is it a 176? Yeah, it might be a 176. So I don't know if they're a near equivalent or anything, but you can certainly have the AC 128 that I've got here. I'll put it safe to one side, which means I'll lose it. 1 second, Patrick, over to you, Justin.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, thank you so much. That'd be brilliant. There's only 2 transistors on the board. It's got to be one or both of them. And it's just not holding its speed right. And it worked initially, so I suspect it is a transistor that's gone. It's just, you know, sometimes where things haven't been used for a long time. These cassette machines, it's one of the little bit later ones that's germanium transistors throughout, except the motor control, speed motor control board, and that's got that's got 2 germaniums on it. So they obviously never changed that. It's got there's a little choke, and there's a few resistors and a potentiometer. And I think the pot's okay. I've measured it and it looks okay, so I thought that was a problem to start with. But I think it's the transistors got some leak, and they're wired in a Darlington kind of pair. That's the way it works. You know, I looked at the circuit, so there we have it. Very clever. It measures the back EMF of the motor and modulates the power according to that. The 128, of course, is the driver for the motor. You know, so yeah, impressive how they work anyway. Gee, what you did.
Yeah, no problem. I think the ones that used to whisker as well was the AC 117s, wasn't it? That had a screen connection to the can, so you just clipped the screen connection. Okay, over to you, Patrick. G6DTW M0JCF in the group. You wanted a quick word?
Yes, stay on frequency, Mark. I will say then when they finish. Justin, can't you use a different pair of germanium transistors? Of course, my Naga tape recorders use those, and they have to be the right ones in my Naga, and they cost me £6 each. Justin, over.
I think Justin's gone, Patrick.
G8YTZ, G6DTW. Oh, he's gone. Now what? M0JCF. Can you check and see if there's anyone else left on this frequency, over?
Yeah, Dave, I'll hand it to you. I think everyone's gone QRT. I need to go, so I'll hang on for Patrick, but I don't want to step on anyone's toes. Over to you, Dave, G6NRH.
M0JCF, G6NRH. Well, it's up to you two between Patrick and yourself, you're under a quick chat. I'm going to close the net down at 11:11, and say it's been a pleasure. I'll quickly leave it open to see if anybody's still around and they want any final message or whatever. Until then, I'll close it down at 11:11. This is Golf 6 November Romeo Hotel, getting ready to close the net. I'm standing by.
736R from GCFTP.
Yeah, nothing heard except for Frank. Yeah, 7-3s everybody. You're all 5 and 9, lovely signals. I now leave it ready for Mark and...
You can change them one to another, they're both exactly the same. Obviously they've just got a different nameplate on the front of them, but yeah, they can be changed. But as John said, he wanted a VFO for a 901, but personally I don't think that is the problem. I think it's something else. And your FT-736R is working well, and you've got a good bargain there for £200 with 6 metres and 23 stems. I think it came with the CCSS board in it already, but the 6 metres and 23 stems was I think was a purchasable add-on. But your simplex is working well anyway, sounding good, and you're a Cray Valley man. I guess you know Laurie G4FAA, he's into KW. John was a KW man, and I still am. I still have a group, well, quite a few bits and pieces of KW that I use. I use more KW than I do anything else. I find it interesting to sort of tune it up and get it working properly, rather than the old black box, turn it on and away you go. So, yeah, I've got some interesting pieces here. I sold Laurie a power supply I had 3 power supplies for KWs. I let one of them go. I converted all of them myself. They had AC heaters in them, and I reconverted it. So that because you know they drift a bit, and that helped. But there are other things you can do to it to improve it. So yeah, interesting radio. Anyway, nice to speak to you, and I'm glad you came up just to make it a little bit more interesting, something else to talk to you about. So I'll put it quickly back to you, see whether you know G4FAA, that's Laurie Atkinson, you probably know him. So back to you, Mark, M0JCF, M0HAL.
Yeah, M0HAL, M0JCF. And sorry for getting Paul and John mixed up. I just quickly scribbled down notes. Yeah, I know Laurie very well. He's been to my house, I've been to his house. We've swapped parts. He's got a big bunch of my valves, actually, for testing. He's got a valve tester, something that I used to have and don't have anymore. KW-wise, yeah, I've got a lot. I've got, well, I had 2 Atlantas, 2 A's, 2 B's, 1 E, and just a straight 2000. So that's a 2000 A, B, and E. One of the A's I've sold. One of the Atlantas I gave away because it was in quite poor state. You're talking about power supplies for KW. I do need to buy, otherwise I've got to build one. I do need to buy an Atlanta power supply if you have one on the shelf that's gathering dust, hint hint. But no, I've got several transformers from old hybrids and valve radios that I can make a power supply. I did borrow Guy G0 UKN's Atlanta power supply just to use the Atlanta, and you know it worked well. Yeah, it drifted all over the place, and it's got 1 or 2 issues which you'd expect with something that's been sitting in somebody's shed for many years. But yeah, the A's, the B's, they've all got various issues, probably most of them relating back to the mechanical filters in them. But you know, it's slowly catchy monkey. I'm not sort of racing to get everything working all at once. I'll get the Atlanta nice and sweet, then I'll move on to one of the B's. I've got 2 B's, and one E. As I say, I did have two A's, but I sold one of them. So what I'll do is eventually I'll sell on one of the B's and just keep the A. You may hear the washing machine in the background. I'm in the garage. That's where one of my old shacks is. So there you go, another long waffle for you. I think I'm handing round now to possibly, let's say, Steve, because I think, or no, did I hand it to John? No, I handed it to John, didn't I? I must get my head together. G4 DOE M0 JCF.
M0 JCF in the group G40 Now, strange, Mark, because my first transmitter, when I got my Cray, was a KW Vanguard. And then I obtained a KW 2000A, which I long since gave away to Dave, G3KPZ, who was a member of the Cray group. I don't know whether Dave's about still. I can't contact him on the telephone, but it's called by G3KPZ. You may know him. If you do, ask him to give me a call, will you? Have a chat. Right, I am now going off the air. I've been on here since 9 o'clock. So with that, I'll put it back to M0HRY. Steve, G40, it does this thing out. Bye.
M0HRY picking up from G4DOE. Yes, Mark, yeah, thanks for coming, for joining us today. It's really great. I just had a quick look at that transceiver that you've got. It was a lot of money. Back in 1988, it was, got the price here, it was 1,450 quid. That's a lot of money, and they was discontinued sometime in the early mid-90s, I think. And so I assume you're hitting us at about 25 watts, because that's the maximum it'll do on 2 meters. And indeed, on the other bands, it's only 5 watts. But that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And as is always the case with these older radios, the audio quality is stunning. As Paul was saying earlier, I'm on a TS2000, so again the audio from this is equally good as some of the old radios, but I'm using my own home-built mic with a decent cartridge in, providing much better bandwidth than you really need, or indeed you can really use. But there we are. It's still nifty enough for what we're doing. Anyway, I'll pass it on to you, and then you can pass it on to Paul. Mike 0, Hotel Radio Yankee M0 JCF in the group.
J taxi.
Okay, there was a G8 station. Do you want to bring him in, please?
Yeah, do you want to say a few words, Mike? Over. G8 taxi to the group. Okay, good morning all. Been listening for a little while. I know some of you are interested in propagation. Yesterday, there was a flare, quite a, well, moderately strong one, hit North America. And at the time, I was running Whisper on that particular period of 21 megs. Prior to the flare, I was getting about 15 reports back from North America on 21 megs on every time that the rig transmitted Whisper on 21. When the flare was in operation, that dropped down to 1. But the interesting thing was, the only time that day I got a report back from VK was when the flare was in operation. I'll be doing a little essay to the RSGB Propagation Committee, and also to Mr. Skov, and so she can have a look at what happened. Be interesting what her comments are on it. But yeah, so I'm still doing a bit of propagation work, but I haven't been on the using Whisper for quite some time. But I only ran it for a short period, and it just coincided when the flare operated. But things are good at the moment, but I'll put out my normal report a bit later. Not sure who it's going round to, so whoever should be picking it up, I'll put it back to you. Geotech, say bye.
I think that may be me, M0JCF, as it came round to me and then I passed it to you. Okay, Mike, nice to meet you. G8AXA, M0JCF, Mark in the Black Fen side of Sidcup, member of the Cray Valley group. Do you know what? I've been operating probably for 2.5 years now, almost exclusively on 10 and 12 metres. I'm mainly CQ, SSB, and yeah, the propagation has been fantastic. But yeah, yesterday the misery on social media was, oh, it's been really rubbish on 10 metres today. I'm thinking, well, you need to get on 10 metres a lot more often, because, you know, the day that you turn on and the propagation's rubbish, you need to just spin around and start shouting. You never know what comes back. Okay, I think I'm handing back to John, G4DOE. I'm in a bit of a mess now as to who we're going round to, but I think I'll normally hand it round to John. G4DOE from M0JCF.
M0, MIHALG40 telling. Okay, I'll actually go off QRT, but I was still listening. M0JCF, Mark, do you know it's G3KPZ still the Coldplay?
Oh, sorry, yeah, you did ask that question. Do you know what? The call sign is familiar, but I can't say for definite. But Steve, G3ZPS was who I initially confused it with. He's still around, but I can double check for you. G3KPZ. It does sound familiar, but then all the G3s sound familiar to me. Back to you.
M0HAL, just checking to see whether I've got it.
You got it.
Jolly good, yeah, I think there was a bit of doubling in there on the end of that one. Right, where are we? Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. The most of the KW stuff and the 2000B is, yeah, good, very good audio, excellent stuff. Yeah, as far as you're concerned, Mark, the KW stuff, very interesting. I got rid of a lot of the equipment that I had, and I wish I hadn't, but I just needed room to set things up, so some had to go. I'm running a 2000B with also a KW 1000, so that helps, and it works. It's amazing. You just with that little bit of help, you can talk to anybody. But 10 metres years ago used to be absolutely fantastic. It was always the frequency, but it's gone down later. And nice to hear you on, Mike. You'll have to join us a bit more often. Don't hear much of you. And thanks for all your reports on propagation. All very interesting. Right, okay, well, I think we're all disappearing off now. John has disappeared. So I'm going to give my 7.3s and I'll put it round to you, Steve, and then you can tie the knots of it. And nice to make your acquaintance, Mark. M0HRY, M0HAL.
M0HRY from M0HAL. And yeah, so wish you all a very pleasant good morning and a pleasant week. And Mark, M0JCF, thanks very much for joining us today. Putting in your Tut and Take Me worth there. Always nice to hear some other people. And also, Mike, if you're still listening, good to hear you too. Obviously, a very strong signal from a few roads away. So everyone was, you know, 5 and 9 plus. So 73. Have a good day, and catch you on further down, as they say. Bye for now.
M0JCF 73, everyone. Thanks a lot. I've got to join the Cray Valley net in half an hour, so best go and say hello to my wife. Bye then.